Welcome to the Not Superheroes Just Dads podcast. No, we can't fly. No, we can't shoot lasers or pick up giant buildings. But what we can do is help set the foundations for our families, be presents for our kids, and combat generational cycles. On this podcast, we dive into everything dad related, from the struggles we deal with as fathers to what our favorite thing to barbecue is. Hello, I'm Sean Laurie. I hope you guys are having an amazing, blessed day today. Before we start, right, make sure you like, share, subscribe, tell a friend. You guys always know I appreciate the responses. I appreciate the DMs, the text messages, all the love that I get from it, man. You guys just keep helping me to push forward. But with that being said, man, I'm excited. Like you guys know, I'm always excited to have a guest on. But I'm definitely excited with this because this been in the works for a while. Just from afar, just actually met this amazing guy online. But watching his story was definitely inspirational. And he's actually all the way in the UK, which is even more amazing that we could come together. I guess with technology too, this is all possible. But man, I'm happy to have Jacob. How you doing today, man?
I'm good, man. So it's been a good day today.
That's good, man. That's good. So what I like to do icebreakers. That's what I love to do, just to get the things flowing. So, you shared with me, right? You're a young 27. I remember that age.
Yeah.
And so I wanted to ask you your mindset, right? From obviously you had your first child at 19, which we'll dive into. Um, from your early teens, or even let's say 19, 19, 18, what would you say is your big mindset shift from then to now, right? So, because I remember for me, my story is a little different, but I remember for me, just I felt like I knew the answers with things, and then I realized I didn't know the answers with things, right? As life goes on. So just for you, man, what's probably been the biggest mind shift, mind change, or mindset, I should say, for you since then?
Not trying to be perfect all the time and learning
Mm,
from mistakes instead of dwelling on them and saying, it's like, well, recently I've got into reflecting. So it's reflecting on conversations, or if I've shouted at the kids, it's reflecting what triggered me to do that and then how can I approach that situation better.
I like that, man. That's dope. That's dope, man. And especially with kids, right? I feel like kids will
Yeah,
definitely make you grow up a little faster and reflect
oh,
on things you
definitely.
need to work on, right? It's like, hold on, I'm mad because, you know, they threw away their one chicken nugget or something like that, right? Like, why am I mad about this, right? So definitely agree with that. So I wanted to ask you, man, as your story is definitely incredible. Let's start actually before, right before you found out you was having your first child. Where were you at mentally, and what was happening at that time? Was you even in the place where you could be ready, like, hey, a year from now, if I have a kid, I'm good? Like, where were you at mentally? So was that 18, 17? Like, what was Jacob's life looking like at that moment?
Working 60 to 70-hour weeks as a chef. So
Mm,
I was still training as a chef. I didn't finish until I was 18. So I was trained to be a chef, drinking heavily, and got
mm,
into a lot of drugs.
mm.
So I was unstable at the time.
Yeah, yeah. So how well, that's like you said, that's a big thing. If you yes, you became a chef, but like you say, you're drinking heavily, you're doing certain drugs and things like that. Was that more so because just to do it, like, you're hanging out with your friends, or was it more so to out of boredom, or was it more so something deeper internally, right, that was going on? Because let's be honest, in my opinion, I feel like from dang near from 18 to probably 24, you're still trying to figure out who you are, right?
Yeah.
And even then, sometimes it's later than that. But um, what I guess led you to kind of go down that route at that time?
When I was 16, I broke up with my first true love from a
Mm,
mistake I made. Not proud of it. I cheated on her, which is
mm,
something I got my karma in the end, but we'll go into that later on. And
mm,
then it just led me down a dark path where I didn't deal with my emotions. I just shoved everything down, moved on, tried
Mm.
acting like everything was fine, threw myself into work, picking up any extra shifts, picking up earlier shifts, working late, and then just when I was out of work, I was drinking and doing drugs.
And so basically, it sounds like too you never, like you say, you was heartbroken from that breakup, and you never really fully processed it, right? Like it was one of
Yeah,
those things where you just, hey, I'm gonna move on to the next girl, or I'm gonna move on and act like nothing happened, but
yeah,
internally you was hurting.
yeah. I've hated myself for it 'cause I was I was brought up better than that
Mm.
by so it was something I wasn't proud of at all.
Because it sounds like you didn't forgive yourself, right? And at that age, you're 16, 17, 18 years old, right? So, like, you, it's almost like, what's the word I'm looking for? Because at that age, right, when we're young and we're dating, right, a lot of times in our mind, we're like, this is going to last forever, right? Like, I'm going to be best friends with this person forever. I'm going to marry this person or whatever the case is. And then when it doesn't go the way that you thought, it's like, what did I do wrong, right? And like you said, you did obviously mess up some, but you didn't forgive yourself. It was like you was letting that define who you was. I don't know if that's fair to say, but that's what it sounds like.
Yeah, that's fair to say.
Yeah. Okay. So when that happened, or when you were going through that, how did I guess the mother of your first child? How did you guys reconnect? Was it actually when you was in that mindset where you was drinking and doing certain drugs and things like that? Like was she in that same
Yeah,
lifestyle as well? Or
yeah, she was.
okay.
And we did it together. So
That's what they say, toxic, right? It's like toxic relationship. So at that time, when you did find out that hey, you're gonna be a dad, like what was your mindset, bro? What was you thinking? Was you looking at the bottle and say like I didn't get rid of this? Like what was the mindset when you heard the news?
I knew I needed to change and get
Mm,
better and just step up and be there for my child. And I needed to get off the drugs and the alcohol to be able
mm.
to become the dad I needed to be.
Now, do they have certain resources and stuff like that in the UK that like helps with that, or was it something you just it was something you was able to just be cold turkey yourself?
I went cold turkey myself. Yeah,
Shoot.
I didn't go to rehab or anything. I did it
No.
off my own back. I didn't realise the alcohol bit at the start, so I
Mm-hmm.
carried on drinking. But then later down the line, this was after my daughter was born, I was still drinking, but I realised if I carried on drinking, that was my trigger to lead to drugs. So I
Mm.
decided to quit drinking as well. And nowadays, I only drink when I'm in a safe environment, just around family. I don't go out to a pub to drink. I'd rather do it in the comfort of my own family, knowing I'm safe and not got access to that.
Yeah. Yeah, no, that's smart, man. So, but I'm just thinking of the mental toughness as well. Like, I don't want to look that over, bro. Like the fact that, like you say, you was doing some hard drugs, you was drinking different things like that, and then obviously it wasn't easy. It's not like it happened overnight, but the fact that you was able to have that mental toughness to say, not only am I going to do this for me, but I'm gonna do this for my daughter, right? I think it's amazing, bro. Like that's crazy. Like thinking because in a sense too, it sounds like which many of us have, but it sounds like too like you recognize like, hey, I have somewhat of an addictive personality with certain things, right?
Yeah,
And so let me make sure that I am, like you said, in a safe environment where my family can say, Jacob, what you doing? Like, no, that's enough. Or you already know, whatever. You might know yourself, like, all right, my limit is 2 drinks or whatever the case is. So that's crazy, bro. That's dope though. So your daughter's born, right? And you realize you gotta change, you realize you gotta to fix some things. Now, does your daughter's mother have the same mindset as you?
not really. She quit the harder drugs, but she kept the weed and the drinking
Okay.
going. So she stopped the harder drugs that we were doing at the time, and
Okay.
then she kept on smoking weed and drinking.
Okay. Was she what? But it didn't affect your guys' daughter or nothing like that, right? When she was
No,
being born. Okay, that's good. That's good. So is it So when that continued, did that was that a conflict? I guess at times for you guys, as far as because right, you're on this path of hey, I'm trying to cut all of this out, and she's still dabbling in some of that stuff. Was it a conflict, or was it one of those things where it just was like, hey, we're just not in line right now, so we got to kind of be separated at the moment?
It was okay to begin with. I did have a couple of slip ups where I would do some drugs, like I said, down the
Yeah.
line. It took me about year and a half to actually fully quit. So it was a
Mm,
process for myself to actually do it.
yeah.
But the relationship was rocky. It was good for the first couple of months after she was born, and then it just got rocky. I was working late, I wasn't getting home till about 11. So
Mm,
I had some days I'd come home and my daughter wouldn't be there, and I'd find out that she'd sent it to her mum's because she couldn't deal with her. So I was like,
mm,
oh, why have you done that? Why am I only getting told when I come home? Kind of
yeah.
thing.
Dang. So how now that I'm thinking about it, like how did you that's crazy. Like I'm just thinking about it like how was you able to I guess protect your daughter too from seeing some of those things?
It was hard sometimes, but she'd usually go out and do it and leave me at home with my daughter.
Okay.
Or she'd send my daughter down to my mum's while I'm at work and she'll go out.
That's crazy. Okay. So obviously like you said that's something where it sounds like obviously like you said you guys are in line cuz she's trying to do certain things. You don't know sometimes where your daughter's at, whatever the case is. So how because I've heard you share your story that you have full custody. Um And so I wanted to know like how did that process work? Because especially as fathers, right? Like as men, at least in the US. I don't know how it is in the UK, but in the US, the system is not set up for fathers at all. Like they make it very difficult. What was that?
It's the same over here. It's pretty
Okay.
much similar to the US. It's
Okay.
the law in place is more favoured for the mother.
Okay. So how was you able? Because I'm sure there's many men that are listening. Like, wait, hold on, wait. You could say he has full custody. Like, how did that happen, right? So, what? How did you get to that point, and what was your process?
So I knew the relationship was finished mentally, but I knew if I wanted to get full custody and actually see my daughter, I needed evidence to prove to my solicitor. So I stayed in the relationship for about another 9 months, acting
Mm,
like everything was fine, just being a blank space. So I could stay there, and but my feelings were just shut down. So I shut everything down and blocked everything out, and just got evidence that I needed. So certain pictures and certain evidence of stuff that had been going on to be able to take to my
mm.
solicitor and be able to prove what's going on and be able to make a case.
Okay. Dang, that's correct. Now, even with that though, a lot of times when, like you say, you have the evidence, I'm surprised that was enough because sometimes they still, they still will be like, oh well, she says she's not doing nothing anymore. She says she's good or whatever the case is. So was it just one of those things where you just had a good lawyer, or you had a favorable judge, or what?
There was a CAFCAS report that came up that brought up police reports that I didn't know about. She
Oh,
had two GBHs against her when she was 16. The funny thing was, the actual lawyer I had was my mom's lawyer for me when I was younger.
when you was acting a fool, right?
Yeah, for when my parents separated, so she was the lawyer
Oh,
for my mom.
okay, okay.
That's how I got my lawyer through my mom.
Okay, okay. Oh, that's what's up, man. Yeah, so now, so you get, how old are you at the time when you get full custody?
I've just gone 21.
So you're 21 with your daughter, you have full custody. What does that look like for you, man? What's that's because now it's more so on you, right? Like I don't know, maybe your daughter's mom was helping out some, but at the end of the day, like she's under your roof, right? She's with you
Yeah.
majority of the time now. So what did that look like, man? At 21 years old, when everybody is still partying and still having a good time, like you have responsibilities then too, but now it's strictly on you in a sense, right? And besides like your tribe, maybe your mom or cousins or whoever you have helping you out. But how did you handle that, bro, at 21?
Uh, I had to move back home, so because I couldn't afford to live by myself at the time. To quit my chefing job because I knew I needed better hours because I was working every weekend, so I needed better hours. So came up for a plan for my last 4 weeks of my notice. But my head chef was really supportive with me. He was like, "I'm proud of you for doing what you've done. I'll support you through this transition period." And I managed to get a job working Monday to Friday in a warehouse. So that made life easier. It was more 9 to 5 hours and
Yeah.
weekends. And then my daughter went to nursery while I was working. And then if I was working a bit later than 5, my mum would pick her up from nursery. And then on weekends that I had my daughter, because she still saw her mum every 2 weeks, so she'd get to see her every 2 weekends. So I'd spend my weekend with my daughter, but then on the weekends I didn't have my daughter. I was either picking up extra shifts at chef jobs that I do needed help for cash in hand work, and pick up shifts that way because I knew I needed more money behind me because I had to pay solicitor fees off. And
Yeah.
it was just, I didn't rest much. I spent all my
Mhm.
time with my daughter, and then the time I didn't have with her, I was either working.
Yeah. So you was just tunnel vision as far as work, make sure I do what I need to do as a father and provide. So
Yeah.
I get it, man. So basically, yeah, you was locked in. You was just focused on being the best father that you could be. Who would you say was your biggest supporter during that time? I know you say your mom, but was there anyone else that you feel like was a key supporter into where you're at now, I guess?
My mum and stepdad, because I lived
Mm.
with them, they were big
Okay.
supporters. And then my grandparents, and then eventually my dad supported me later on.
Mm. Okay.
Leaned on family a lot, but because
Yeah.
I lost basically all my friends.
Wow. Now, why was that? Was it because you guys were just doing different things, or was it because you just didn't have time for them? Like, why was it that your friends kind of disappeared?
They were definitely on a different page. I was the only one who had kids in
Mm.
within my friendship group. They were on different paths to me. I wasn't always free. And then it was just being, probably say, growing apart because I was having to mature a lot quicker
Mm.
than they were.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I get it, man. I guess I'm more so surprised just because, I would think they could understand somewhat, right? And even maybe come by and be like, hey, like, I want to hang out with you, and I just hang out at the house with you and see you in dad mode, but we could watch a show, we can chill, you know what I mean, stuff like that. But like you say, everyone's timeline is different, everyone's
Yeah.
journey is different. So I get it, I get it. I wanted to also ask you too because you also have a son, if I remember correctly, right?
Yeah, that's correct.
So your daughter's what, about 9 right now?
8.
8. Okay,
Yeah.
she's 8 years old. So, and you have now a 2-year-old son, if I remember
Yeah.
correctly.
2 last month.
Oh, yes. Okay. So, how has that been juggling now? Because I always joke when you have one kid, I'm like, you basically have no kids. Like I joke with them because I'm like, you can still move around. You can still like, it's so much easier to get a babysitter with one kid than like, for example, with me with 4. I mean, my oldest is older now, but at the time, like, it's difficult. Hey, can you watch 4 kids? Like, no, I'm not trying to do that, right? So, but how has that been like navigating with now having 2 kids?
It's been stressful. First, well, when my partner was pregnant, my daughter was like, "Why is it not a girl?" She was disappointed that it was a boy. But she's already got brothers at her mum's house, so she's like, I just want a sister." But as soon as they were born, they can't separate them nowadays. They just
Yeah,
love each other. My daughter wants her own space nowadays. We're being older, which is obvious.
yeah, yeah,
He's
of course.
he's relentless when he wants to play. He won't leave you alone. So, but no, they love each other. They adore each other. So it's hard navigating different schedules.
Yeah.
So it's been hard, but it's been rewarding at the same time.
That's dope. And speaking from experience, your daughter's for sure gonna be like the protector. She'll be like you're gonna be thinking like, are you the parent or me? Like, no, don't do this, don't do that. That's how my daughter is a lot of times with my youngest, and they're only like what 18 months apart. But she's like, they're always together, like all the time, bro. So yeah, that's dope. That's dope. That's dope. So how is and your partner, has she been able to help out too with your son and your daughter as well?
Yeah, so she works part time, I work full time, so she's at home a lot more than me. But I've just started a new job recently, which gives me a hell of a lot more time at home. It's worked out good for both of us.
Yeah,
It's been a rough time together, but
yeah.
we've grown together and supported each other and got past a lot of hurdles together.
That's dope, man. Yeah, that's dope. Cause I'm sure too. She's seen you at some of your low points and some of your high points, right? So
Yeah, she
that's a
definitely
beautiful
has.
thing.
She,
Yeah,
she,
that's a beautiful thing.
she's the one who eventually got me to open up more. 'Cause I wasn't the best communicator to start with because I kept just
Yeah.
pushing everything down, and I just
Mm,
was like, "It's fine. It is what it is. I'll get past it.
yeah.
I don't want to talk about it." She's tweaked away over the last 5 years of being together, and
Mm,
she's eventually got me to open up a bit more, and
that's
that's how
dope.
it's led to doing this podcast and doing what I'm
That's a
doing
be-
now.
yeah. I love it, bro. No, that's a beautiful thing. Cause I always say, I tell my kids too. At the end of the day, does that person make you better, right? Like, no matter what the relationship is, like, oh man, I really like this. If my kids start dating, hey, I really like this guy, I really like this girl. Okay, cool. Like, figure it out. Oh, I really want to get serious with them or whatever. Like, do they make you better? Like, do they bring the best out of you? Right? Like, do they hold you accountable? Right? Do they say, hey, Jacob, you're messing up. What are you doing? Right? We don't want to hear those things, especially as men. We don't want to hear it, like, and my lady will get on me with stuff that I don't want to hear, but in the back of my mind, I'm like, she's right. Damn, like, right? But that's what we need, right? Like, I'm sure with your lady, when she was telling you, hey, you're not communicating. You're like, it is what it like. I'm fine, but in the back of your mind, you're like, ah, I know she's right.
Yeah.
So that's dope, man. That's dope that you guys are on that page. Now, how has that been co-parenting? Because at times, hopefully that's not the case, but at times when it doesn't work out with the first relationship, that's when it bleeds into the new relationship where it's more friction, right? They
Yeah.
feel some type of way. Or has it been able to be everyone's on the same page, everyone's in line, so it's not really no issues when it comes to the kids?
It's been a transition, so
Okay.
especially with my daughter's mom, she she can be tough to deal with sometimes, and
Yeah.
we don't always agree. It does. We found the best approach to make is take the emotion out of it. It's what's best for Ava at the end of the day.
Yeah.
It's like if it's not going to work for Ava, then it's not going to happen. But we'll talk about it and be open about it. It took me a while to realise this because at the start I was like just throwing all the emotion into it, getting angry, and just not taking a step back as it is, and just right, what does Ava need? What does she want? And just like now she's getting older. If she wants something to change with a mom or a mom's, I'm like, you voice note her off my phone because it's
Hmm.
better coming from you than it is from me. And then if your mum wants to call, she can call and you can discuss it with her. I
Yeah.
found that to work the last couple of months. It's only something new we've started, but it seems to be working a lot better than everything going through me.
Mm.
Certain
That's
stuff that I have to approach with, but if it's something Dave just wanted to ask for, I'm trying to get her to build the courage to speak to her mum about it rather than telling me and then hiding away while I'm trying to talk about it. It's like, it's your problem. You need to learn to deal with your problems, and you have to have them tough conversations sometimes.
mm. That's good though, because you're already teaching her at a young age. Like, hey, sometimes we have to have difficult conversations, and they might not like what you're saying, but you have to get this emotion out, right? You have to get these
Yeah,
feelings out and say what it is. So I love that, man, because by the time she's 18, right, 19 years
yeah,
old, she's gonna have a good grasp on how to navigate her feelings, and you're helping her with that because obviously, as we know, women are naturally more emotional, right? We're more logical. So if she can be the blend in the both, she's gonna be even more amazing than she is now.
Oh yeah.
Right? So that's dope, bro. I love it, man. So I want to ask you what is some of the things that you're doing for fathers and because I see it online where you're sharing your story, like you said, where you was addicted to drugs, you was a young father, and all these different things. Like, how have you been able to share your story, or what different ways are you sharing your story? Is it strictly online, or what have you been doing, man? Because I know you're doing some dope things.
Well, I started off just wanting to be at home more and just being there for my kids a lot more and not having to ask for a day off. So it's why I wanted to work for myself, so I started researching how to make money online because I see your Instagram, TikTok just full of people doing stuff online, working from a beach. I was like, I want to look into this more. And then my old head chef, he'd got into a program and he was doing e-commerce and he recommended me this program. So I joined up, tried it. I was like, it's not for me. It's not selling another product on the market. It's not for me.
Mm.
So I went out looking again, and I got recommended this other guy, and spoke to him, and he's more personal branding, where you sell your own knowledge through social media and create a community where people can gather online and talk about what's going on in their lives and just be supportive to each other. So that sit well with me because I wanted to create a community for dads, the father's brotherhood, to be able to come and connect to a place where they're not going to be judged, they're going to be heard and respected, and just have another dad or other dads to connect with and share stories and get advice. Just have a safe space to go.
No, bro. I love it, man. I love it. So, shoot, I'm hoping one day, man, we both get to the point where, our what we're doing for the community, for fathers, for men grows so big, man. I'm hoping, one of these days, man, I can hit you up like, hey, bro, I'm in the UK. You know what I mean? Put an event
Yeah,
together, or you're telling me, hey, I'm in the States. Hey, come through, or should we do something together one day, right? That'd be a beautiful
yeah.
thing, bro. And that's what I'm gonna believe in and speak on. But where some of this, where can they follow you? Where can they see some of the amazing stuff and just continue to follow your journey? Where can they find that at, bro?
So more on Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, YouTube at the moment. I've just started YouTube. YouTube's new. So I'm
Okay.
posting shorts on there, but then I'm also just started doing long form videos. So I'm planning on getting more long form videos out in the near future.
I love it, man. So if they go on Instagram, what do they need to type in?
So let me just double check actually. Just before I say the wrong one, is Jacob King dot fatherhood.
And is that the same for TikTok and YouTube as well, or is it different?
Yeah, yeah, it's
Same.
the same. It's all the same
All
one.
right. Awesome. And I'm gonna make sure you guys know I always do that. I'm gonna make sure I put all his information on the YouTube, in the description, on the Spotify, Apple. I'm gonna put it on all that, you guys. So please make sure you support this man. This man is doing some amazing things, man. And bro, what I like to do too before I get off, I always like to give other fathers their flowers, man. And so one, again, bro, I think it's just amazing that you was able to go through this hard run, I feel like, right, and make it out and be able to have a smile and be able to share your story with confidence, because that in itself takes a lot, right? As men, we're closed off, and you're able to like be open on it and be like, hey, this is where I fell short on, and let me make sure I bring this awareness so you don't fall through the same thing. And I think that's just amazing, bro, at the end of the day. And your kids are just so blessed to have you, you know because you're doing the work, and because we don't have no handbook for this thing called fatherhood. We definitely don't have a handbook for when it comes to life. It gets tricky, right? And so I feel like God's really using you, man, to be to help so many people. You're gonna have such a huge impact past the UK. Like I believe it's gonna make it to the States as well. Like I said, man, where you're gonna have such a huge impact, and you're still so young, bro. So I'm just excited to see what the next 10 years looks like as you continue to be consistent, as you continue to follow what your heart is telling you to do. And just keep surrounding yourself with amazing people like your lady, your mom, your stepdad, right? People that are really for you, and just getting out of conversations or environments where they're toxic, so they don't hold you down. Because at the end of the day, when people get threatened by greatness, you know what I mean? And so I already see it. I see greatness in you, bro. And so at the end of the day, it's so easy to get discouraged or feel like you're not doing enough. But you're doing an amazing job, like I said, man. And so again, I appreciate your time, man, because I know you don't do podcasts like that. I don't think like that. So so the fact that you trusted me to go on here, man, I'm telling you, bro, it means a lot to me. And if there's anything I can do, if you have something you want me to get on, I'm more than happy to do it, bro. Anytime, someone's a guest or something like that, I take it to heart, and it's like, hey, we forever are connected. You know what I mean? And so
Yeah.
if you have questions, if you have concerns, if there's something you're trying to figure out, if there's any information, bro, I can share that will be beneficial, bro, I'm an open book. I'm not one of them people that's gonna be a gatekeeper. Like I need to keep it to myself. That's never how I've operated. So, but yeah, man. So again, bro, I appreciate your time, bro, for real.
Thank you, man. It's been good to be on here. Definitely out of my comfort zone, but it's been good to do it.
Yeah, man. Hey, man, you're gonna be a pro at it soon. You're gonna be a pro at it soon. But with that being said, y'all, like always, you don't have to be perfect, but you always have to be present. See you guys on the next one.